Good morning, survivors, and happy Wednesday. Today, I thought we would talk about what makes narcissists tick a little bit, all right? So let's get started. So if you ever have been involved with a narcissist, then you know that when it comes to holidays, they are kind of a pain in the ass, am I right? So what do I mean by that? Well, in my experience, narcissists have ruined most holidays. Whether it's just by having a bad attitude on the day or by backing out of the day for some reason, starting a fight with you or whatever, or simply just making life harder for you than it needs to be. All right, so we're going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about some ways that you can get around that if you're still stuck in that situation. Of course, on the flip side of that, narcissists who are away from you before the holidays sometimes use the holidays to get back in with you. So it's kind of a two-sided, a double-edged sword. Jeez, I need to drink some more coffee. Kind of a double-edged sword, you feel me? So, when you're in a normal relationship, you tend to want to be with your significant other during the holidays because it's part of what kind of bonds you together as a couple, right? But when you start dealing with a narcissist or a psychopath or a sociopath, those holiday moments can be scary and freaky. And that's partially for them because they don't like the idea of acknowledging or even having the kind of intimacy that is required to be with each other on the holidays. But then on the flip side of that, some narcissists, as you all know, will jump in so fast and pretend like they're part of the deal. So if you're dating someone new, one red flag might be if, you started dating 2 weeks ago and they want to jump right into your family Christmas, or Hanukkah or whatever celebration you do. So something to think about. But on the flip side of that, if you've been with a narcissist for a long time and everyone expects to see them at the holiday, a lot of times they will intentionally back out just to make you feel uncomfortable and weird around your family. See what I mean? So in some cases, the narcissist finds him or herself in a difficult spot because they don't always enjoy the level of intimacy. Now, as you all know, there are different kinds of narcissists, so let's talk about that, okay? The type of narcissist that I'm talking about right here is what some people call a boomerang narcissist, right? So what's that? So it's exactly what it sounds like. A boomerang narcissist is the type of person who will come in and out of your life, whether literally or figuratively. I think they're all boomerang narcissists in a way because they kind of go through the devalue, the discard, and all that over and over and over again. Whether you stay with them for 20 years or 20 minutes, you go through the whole cycle. The love bombing, and then the devalue phase, and then the discard phase. And like I said, even if you've been with a narcissist forever, the cycle continues whether they leave you or not physically. You feel me? So one of the things that narcissists love to do in general is to create chaos where there's already chaos, right? So holidays are perfect for that. So for example, if you're stressed out because, let's say, there's a death in the family and this is your first year hosting a holiday at your house, or you're stressed out because holidays are stressful in general or whatever, the narcissist will come to you and intentionally add to your stress. Whereas in a healthy relationship, your significant other would probably try to help you relieve the stress by either helping you out or making, some other effort in some other way. But the narcissist doesn't do that. It's almost as though it feels good to them to cause the chaos. I had a narcissist say to me one time, when I was like, why are you poking at that person? Why are you trying to hurt that person who's already hurting? They said, because it feels good to me. Because when I see someone hurting, my instinct is to hurt that person further. And I find that incredibly difficult to deal with. I'm sure y'all do too, to know that they're intentionally doing it. Yeah. So for example, when I was married to a narcissist, I had a death in the family I was devastated about. And rather than actually putting his arms around me and saying, hey, it's going to be okay, we're going to get through this, he complained about stupid stuff and made my life harder. That is a narcissist. It's all about them all the time. Feel me? Holidays are no different. So, call him a boomerang, call him a piece of crap, call him whatever you want. The fact is that narcissists, their primary goal is to get what they want. And I believe, initially I thought that narcissists were just all about self-satisfaction, self-soothing. But at this point, I'm starting to think that narcissists might also have I mean, it's not might. They actually do have a significant amount of issues. Obviously, we already knew that, but the fact that they like to add to the chaos of your life when you're already stressed out is one of those things that we don't always realize. And this is not just a holiday thing, like I said. You know, if you're stressed out about anything, if you're stressed out about a job, if you're stressed out about your kids, you know, if your kids are sick, or if you know, you might lose your job, or if you're worried about money, or if your house is a mess and you need to clean it and you're stressed out about it, it doesn't matter. Whatever it is that you're dealing with, the narcissist will intentionally add to the chaos. They will start a fight, they will leave, they will do whatever they can to make your life harder. Now that doesn't make a lot of sense to me as being who I am, but a narcissist, it makes a lot of sense to them. So I don't know, what do you think about that? So how do you deal with a narcissist at the holidays if you're not able to get away? Whether it's your mother that you have to see, or your brother, or your spouse, or your sister, or whatever, how are you supposed to deal with a narcissist at the holidays? What do you do to at least minimize the drama and the damage? All right, you guys get to hear my daughter singing again in the bathroom. It's kind of funny, huh? Anyway, she's got a beautiful voice, though. I don't know if you can hear that, but so cute. Okay, sorry, she's just really adorable to me sometimes. I'm sure y'all feel that way about your own children, if you have any. Anyway, narcissists intentionally will make it difficult. So one way you can deal with a narcissist is to just let it all roll off your back. Just let it slide for that day, for that holiday. And it's difficult, but if you can not allow them to affect you and just, okay, don't fight back, just let them say whatever they want to say, move through it. It sucks, and you shouldn't have to put up with it, but if you're just looking for peace on the holiday, keep your mouth shut. You have to remember that the way the narcissist mind works, they think they're competing with everybody. And this is just because they have incredibly low self-esteem most of the time, and they secretly feel inferior to people. So if you try to compete with them in any way, they are going to just rise up and act crazy. So if you're dealing with, you know, a narcissist in the family and it's just a 1 or 2 day situation that you have to deal with them, just let them have the moment. Just let them have it. It's not worth it. I think we can all relate to the feeling of being shocked by a narcissist's behavior, right? So one of the things, Dr. Carol McBride, who she writes a lot about daughters of narcissistic mothers, you know, she suggests that you use the word interesting. I like that. And I've done that, you know, in situations like this where, you know, if you are, if you find yourself, you know, being shocked and assaulted by the verbal meanness of a narcissist, you know, instead of being like, oh my God, what are you talking about? Or why would you say that to me? That's horrible. You know, you can just be like, interesting. And it's simple, and it kind of is a non-answer. It's like, oh, that's interesting. And if you can say it without being like, interesting, that's also helpful too. So, you know, it's just gray rocking them. It's just keeping yourself from allowing them to see you sweat, allowing them to see you cry, allowing them to see you have any significant emotions that they have caused. Because when they see that, guess what that is? It's supply. So if you keep yourself from showing them that they're hurting you, they generally aren't interested in continuing because they're going to look for someone else to hurt instead. Now, in the case of a holiday at Christmas time or Hanukkah or whatever your holidays are, you know, you are in an interesting place with this. So you have to choose to let go of it and choose to deal with it. Or alternatively, know that you aren't required to spend the holiday with any narcissist, family or not. As people who have been dealing with narcissists for a lot of our lives, a lot of us, we don't even always know that we have the right to say no. We don't always know that it's okay for us to choose to stay home or to spend the holiday with friends who don't treat us that way, or family members who don't treat us that way. So here you go. Here's your permission. If you don't want to deal with the holidays with a narcissist, you don't have to. You can do something else. Make new traditions for yourself. It's okay. What about the narcissist that talks bad about everybody at the holiday? Well, how do you deal with that? The one who, you know, gossips about everybody in the family or gossips about people at work and things like that. Well, here's a little tip for you. If you know those people, if they're people in the family or friends of yours or whatever, instead of allowing the narcissist to keep talking about them negatively, you say, I never experienced that with that person. I thought they were very nice and smart and sweet and whatever. And the narcissist won't like it, but it'll often cause them to either move on or change the subject, which is something you know, they don't want to be argued with. Now, of course, depending on the narcissist, there might be a case where, you know, if you disagree with him or her, they might go crazy and act nutty on you. So be aware of who you're dealing with. Another tip, and this works for almost anybody who is a difficult personality, is to flatter them. You know, do something, stroke the ego of the narcissist. So, you know, oh, I love that shirt on you. It really brings out the color of your eyes. Or, you know, oh, I heard you got a promotion. Congratulations. Or, you know, oh, you're so smart and amazing. Blah, blah, blah. All the stuff that narcissists want to hear. Try to be genuine if you can with your compliments. But stroking the ego of a narcissist will also often endear them to you, at least temporarily. With all that being said, I have one last piece of advice for you. You don't always have to give in to a narcissist. You aren't required to make their holidays easier, and you aren't required to let them be a part of your holidays. You have a choice. You're an adult. You get to choose. Okay? So if you are in a situation where you don't want to be dealing with someone who is causing stress, pain, and difficulty in your life, you don't want to see them at Christmas or Hanukkah because you know that it's going to be painful and difficult, well, just don't see them. You have the right. And if you choose to see them, you can limit the time. And, you know, you can say, well, I understand that's how you like to live your life, but I prefer to live mine this way or that way, okay? You get to decide. You get to decide. This is the biggest thing that I want everybody to hear today. We decide how we react to people. We decide how we allow people to treat us. And we have been people pleasers for so long that sometimes some of us have allowed people to treat us terribly. And this year, let's take back our holidays. Let's decide that we're not going to tolerate that anymore. And if we are, we're going to get through it and we're going to move forward, okay? I understand that sometimes we can't walk away from a narcissist right away for different reasons, whether it has to do with family issues or money issues or whatever. Sometimes you find yourself wanting to keep a narcissist around, or to, you know, take your time planning to get away because you're not being physically abused, but you're being mentally abused, and you need to, you know, get all your ducks in a row. But just understand this. Whether this person is your spouse or your parents or your brother or your sister, the narcissist you're dealing with at the holidays, their goal is definitely to make your life harder. So, or to make you feel bad about yourself or whatever, to get narcissistic supply. So you can decide whether or not you're going to allow that to happen. If we're being honest, when it comes to narcissists, I think the biggest issue with them on any holiday, birthday, or otherwise celebration that's not about them is simply that it's not about them. And I really believe that that's part of the reason that they try so hard to make the days difficult for us. Before we go, we're going to have Would You Wednesday with Sophie, all right? Let's do it. Okay.
Would you rather cook or pick apples?
I would rather cook.
Would you rather read minds or be invisible?
Ooh, read minds.
That's all.
Okay, have a good day. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. All right, well, I'm going to close up for now. I will see you guys later today for another video. Have a great day, and as always, thanks for being a part of my life and a part of my day, and thanks for letting me be a part of yours. It really does mean a lot to me.